Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of the No Negative Behavior Show. I'm your host, Dice Dills, in the building, and I'm having a great time. God is good. All the time, and all the time. You're supposed to finish that for me. Anyway, I got my boy in the show, really? Anthony. My boy Anthony is in the show. Shout out to Anthony. What's up, Anthony? Introduce yourself, brother.
Good, Mr. Anthony Fauntleroy.
That's right.
I'm here to support
my brother.
Brother.
For sure.
From old school.
Yeah.
We good.
We good. For sure.
Got to find some things out.
Yeah. We're going to get into that. We definitely going to get into that. That's why you're here, brother. We're going to definitely get into that. Yeah, so, first and foremost, I hope everybody had a great weekend, a safe weekend. And, as always, I hope everyone was celebrating life this weekend. The weather was nice in some places. In other places, wasn't so nice. But, still, being on the green side of grass, you can always celebrate life. That's my motto, man. Celebrate life all the time because life is precious and you never know when it's going to end. So make sure you always celebrate life and never take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because, when I was away, I had this taste for triangle pizza. And I realized how much I miss a triangle slice while I was inside, man. I realized how they used to give you these little square slices of pizza, or in some places they have little round slices of pizza. They was never all the way cooked. And now I'm just addicted to triangle slices. I eat pizza too much. Shout out to the pizza shop down the block from my house where I spend most of my money at. Shout out to them. Mexicans own the pizzeria. Shout out to my boys from Pizza 3, the old school. Yeah, for sure. And like this weekend, I had the opportunity to work at the museum in Brooklyn, the hip hop graffiti museum. And a friend of mine, Big Scott, asked me if I wanted to do some security work, and I was like, bet, I'm all in. I'm all in. And then he told me where it was at, and I was like, wow, I'm all in for real because this is right up my alley. This is, I lived that. That was my lifestyle. And I think it was dope, man. If you haven't seen it, it's on 25 Kent Ave in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. I suggest you go out and check it out. I took a couple of photos. Hey, Cruz, hit him with a couple of those photos that I took. The rest of it is going to be on my YouTube page, but I took a couple of snaps of some of the artwork. Now, this is what you see here is not small. It's not a small picture. This is a big canvas. It might be 12 by 12 or something like that, or even larger. And there's another one. It's dope. Realistic, the A Train. It's official tissue. What else we got? There's one picture that I took that I was like, wow, look at this. Real hip-hop graffiti artists would know about this picture when they see it. Keep going, Cruz. Slide through what's the other ones? The markers? Yeah, this one right here. Now that picture right there, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, you know, you know. I'm telling you, anybody that was into writing, you see these markers, you see the ink up there, you'll be like, wow. Some of that you wish you had. Some of them homemade markers up there, when they put them together with the erasers from the school board and things of that nature. It was really right up my alley. I was a little overexcited because I'm into it. But if you're into that, check it out, 25 Kent Avenue. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce my boy Anthony. I always pronounce your last name wrong. I always pronounce it Fauntleroy. What's the pronunciation?
Talk like it's French. Fauntleroy.
It's Fauntleroy?
Fauntleroy.
Fauntleroy?
Fauntleroy.
Fauntleroy?
Leroy.
Fauntleroy? Is that French?
Leroy.
My best. Fauntleroy, blood fire. Fauntleroy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there you go. French. Yeah, okay. Fauntleroy. I knew this guy since high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Before high school.
Before high school. Facts.
Elementary school.
That might be right. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I know. Even with all this, the distance that we had in between our lives, he's always been a man of great integrity. And he's always been a man of his word. And he's always been strong. He was like the second strongest or first strongest dude in high school.
How did you know that? How did you know that?
I remember you always into lifting weights.
Second strongest guy in high school.
Yeah, in high school.
Behind Dale Penny.
Yeah, that was big.
I was the second strongest guy in high school, yeah.
That was B.I.G., being the second strongest guy. You must have got a lot of...
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Picking it up. Ooh, let me get that. For sure, man.
But I know why I was gifted with that, because it saved my life.
Being strong.
It saved my life.
Being strong saved your life.
That strength.
Right.
I lost
see the
it.
correlation.
I lost a lot of it.
I can see the correlation.
But if it wasn't for me going hard in the gym and working out and doing what I had to do, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Right. So
wait,
let's tell you, how did you get here? How did you get here? Let's talk about that.
Well, I was raised, I was born in Harlem.
Uh-huh.
My mom was killed in Harlem. A lot of people don't know that, and I was, after that happened, I was raised in Mount Vernon.
Your mother was killed. How old were you when that happened?
My mother, I was only 3 years old.
Wow.
And my mom was 21. And she was killed at 24. Murdered in Harlem.
Murdered
in Harlem. So that's how I wound up in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
I wound up in Mount Vernon because my grandmother, which obviously is her mother, lived in Mount Vernon. So that's where I was raised at.
Okay, so all right. So my condolences to you. I know though it was a long time ago. I can still offer my condolences to that.
I'm still fighting.
Right. So you was raised with grandmoms. I'm sure.
I was raised by older people, and this is why a lot of people on whether it's Facebook or whatever, they're like, well, what's going on? No, I'm old school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old school from my grandma, my aunts, my uncles.
Okay.
My grandmother had 8 children.
All right. Okay.
She had 5 girls and 3 boys.
Okay.
I'm old school.
All right. So
these are the people that raised me.
All right. And people that know, that watch the show or seen the promo of the show, they know, your background, your history, why you're here right now.
Right.
And, I have a question. Being that you're old school, raised by grandmoms, I know grandmas and aunts,
I was
but
raised
I know
by my grandmother's aunt.
Okay, so and that's even older. That's an older school.
Fact.
And I know they instilled Jesus in you.
Yeah.
I know they talked about Jesus.
Yeah, they did.
They had to. There's no way in the world that you're going to say you was raised by grandma and grandma's aunt that they didn't put Jesus in you. They talked about Jesus.
No, I went to I went to school, and I did everything I had to do, and one of the things my grandmother told me, just keep praying, keep reading the Bible, keep doing what you have to do, and everything will be okay.
Right.
Okay.
Praying. If you're going to pray, don't worry. If you don't worry, don't pray.
A lot of people don't know Richard Roundtree. Shaft.
It's
right across the street from my family house. His father was right across the street from my family house. So I went to church with them.
Okay.
And this is what a lot of people don't realize. He was, in Mount Vernon.
All right. So he was going to church too. So you said you was going to church.
No, I went to church with his father.
With his father.
All
right, cool.
But obviously he's close to his father, so he had some type of ties in Mount Vernon.
Yeah, or Richard Roundtree. A lot of people come. A lot of people. There's so many famous people that come from Mount Vernon. It's too many to count.
Exactly.
It's way too many to count.
Exactly.
But
with that being said, moving on, you know, there's a lot of people that are big into religion and whatnot like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't knock people that's into religion. I don't knock people that's into God. I don't knock them. But here's what I can tell you. If you don't find God within yourself, you don't know God.
Okay.
You don't know God.
And you know, I can honestly agree that God is within. God is definitely within.
Yes.
I could agree with that.
And here's another thing.
So, is the devil within too?
I can go into that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, later.
But listen. They talk about the Council of Nicaea and whatnot like that, which I told you is a part of you know what's going on with religion. You know, when you bounce back and forth, and you go into religion, and you go into King James. King James also.
Yeah. Talk to the mic.
King James also promoted a book called Devil's Advocate.
King James.
King James. The same
King
person
James,
that wrote the Bible. The Bible.
The King James that wrote the Bible, you mean?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so you said he wrote a book called what? Or wrote a book about what?
He wrote a book about the Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate. Okay.
King James.
All right.
The same person that everybody's talking about, oh, he wrote the Bible. And
King James.
He did both.
Yeah,
he did both.
He wrote a version. There's a King James version of the Bible. But there was a bunch of people that had the Bible was written so many different times.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know the research on that. You know, the Bible was written by many different authors. There's many different versions of the Bible, and new ones still coming out. Like what, the NIV, right?
Right.
That's the most recent one, I believe.
Right. Maybe.
So you know, versions of the Bible are still being published.
There's so much history that our people need to look into. It's volumes. It's not even. You can't even just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna just talk about this." It's volumes.
All right. So my question is this, Anthony.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know, you and I had a couple conversations before this, right?
Right.
And, you know, my thing was trying to figure out. I know your position. I know where you stand. My thing was trying to figure out how did you come to this perspective of not believing in Jesus, you know, and you know, your grandmother.
I came into this perspective. That's easy.
All right.
I came into this perspective because Mama, the woman that raised me, told me, son, if you go to church, which I went with Richard Roundtree's father, and if you go to church and you do this and you do that and this and that and the other, everything will be okay.
Right.
You know, so when your mother was murdered, thrown off a building, murdered, if you don't look into the reason why and reason why this is going on, okay, that's just the beginning. But then when you start seeing other stuff happening.
All right, just for, you know, because the audience is watching, and I just want to make sure that I clarified it. That when your mom was killed, or you said your mother was killed, right? Was murdered.
My mother was
She was thrown off a building.
My mother was murdered in Harlem.
In Harlem, and this affected your perspective on God. Like, why did this happen?
That was the beginning of it.
Right.
But my grandmother tried to, any way you want to put it, no, God this and God that and Jesus.
She tried to explain it to you.
Exactly. You know.
But it didn't make sense.
I took it seriously.
Okay.
So when you talk about, you know, what's your perspective? I take shit.
Go ahead.
In my language.
You're right.
I took it seriously.
Okay.
You
talk
know,
to them. Talk to them.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I took it seriously. You know, so when they're like, wait a second, you know, your mom died and this and that and the other, and I researched this shit.
Right.
I stayed up all hours of the night looking in researching and reading the Bible and reading everything.
Looking for what?
Looking for why.
Answers.
Exactly.
To why mom was killed.
Exactly. But it's not even.
And wait, how old were you when you started to do this research? How old were you?
I would say about 10, 12.
Okay.
I was young.
All right.
You know,
when I met you, like what I remember from you, I never knew about your mom.
Right.
Never knew that, but I do always remember like a seriousness about you.
Right.
That you wasn't with the giggles and all of that.
Right.
All the giggles and shits and giggles and stuff
Right.
like that. You was a little more serious.
Right.
And you had, now it makes sense to me.
Right.
It makes sense coming from where you came from with your mother.
Right.
And then doing some research, looking for answers.
Right.
Not finding any.
Right.
It changes your perspective on things.
Right. Right.
For sure.
Right. But I never went south.
Meaning like atheist
I never did anything to put myself in position where I can get hurt or whatever.
Right.
I'm not atheist. I do believe in God. There is a God.
There is a God. And how
God
could you
created
tell?
all of this.
Okay.
So I do believe in that.
So when you say God created all of this and God is within, are you saying God, the higher power, the entity?
Yes.
The omnipresent one? Or are you saying God, the God that's within, or is that the same thing? That's basically all the same, right?
In Africa.
Uh-huh. Talk to me.
Breaking it down. In Africa, we have walking gods. Okay?
Give me an
we
example.
We have gods and goddess.
Give me an example.
Gods.
Give me an example of a walking god.
Okay, walking god, one of them is Shaka Zulu.
Okay.
He's a walking god. Okay?
All right.
So we,
I want people to. I need
I'm
people
sorry,
to hear
bro.
you for sure.
I'm sorry, bro.
Uh-huh.
But we have walking gods.
Okay.
They talk about the black cat.
The black cat.
Don't walk past the black cat.
That could be. Cat. That is like I learned this in school.
God.
Ad hoc fallacy. Something can happen. A cat crossed somebody's path, and then someone tripped and got hurt, and then the cat got blamed for it. And it's a fallacy. I got that part.
Yeah. So, what I would like to tell people is, don't concentrate on what's being told to you and what's being put out there and whatnot like that. Look into your research. Mm-hmm. Research your culture. Research what my biggest problem with our people is that we don't research. They always said, if you put something in a book,
right,
they won't even look it up.
For sure.
Okay?
Right.
So that's one of the biggest problems. So look into and research what's going on, because
I believe you. And they have a book. They have a book that I read when I was in school. Shout out to my man Big Will. Will, if you're watching, what's the name of that book where they was talking about? It speaks about how education, the school, the educational system in our schools, kind of deposit information into us, and we just take that information as a fact.
And that's the reason why I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book because I got tired.
Right.
Of
I wish I knew the name of that book, because I think people need to read that book. I can't remember the name of it. I got CRS. What happened? You're looking at yourself.
Yeah. I just noticed. But anyway.
Okay.
My whole thing is, we need to concentrate on what we need to do as a people. Religion is the least of our worries. It's the least of our worries.
What is religion?
Religion is it's been built by Romans. Okay, Jesus was created by Romans. He's not Roman.
Jesus was created by Romans.
Romans. The Council of Nicaea.
The Council of Nicaea. I have a picture of the Council of Nicaea.
Right.
That's the one with all of them together.
Exactly.
This is the Council of Nicaea.
Exactly.
I went and did some research on the Council of Nicaea.
Exactly.
So leave that picture up for a second. Tell me, what did they do? You're saying they created Jesus.
Because the Romans had a problem with, they was trying to go back and forth in how they're going to be able to produce a religion or fallacy, if you will, on Jesus. You know, they want to bring this Jesus guy and whatnot like that.
Jesus guy.
Yeah.
You go. No, I'm laughing at it. It's funny.
Bro.
Continue.
But you know what? Here's what I can tell people.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention. When you was younger, there was always a son, right?
What do you mean a son?
The
son?
There was a son, the Son of God. There was always a son.
The Son of God.
Okay? If you go back to Egyptian, you're friends with Eddie. Eddie knows. Okay? If you go back to Egyptian, the sun. Egyptians worship the sun. Okay?
Right.
The sun is the Son of God.
The sun.
Nothing on earth works without the sun. Nothing on earth works without the sun. You can't get flowers. You can't get fruit. You can't get nothing on earth without the sun. And here's the problem. Here's the thing that people have a problem with. God gave you everything that you need from the sun to live.
From the.
You're not supposed to be eating animals.
You're still talking about the sun sun, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You know, so when you start talking about the Son of God,
mm-hmm.
you're talking about Jesus. They're trying. It's a misconception of them saying that Jesus is the Son of God, but at the same time, life on earth doesn't work without God, without Jesus.
All right, so we have a question here for you, and I ask anyone that has a question for Anthony to call in, and the number is 914-968-6499. That's 914-968-6499, or you could try the 718-705-4959. 718-705-4959.
I'm nationally certified.
There's a
by
question
doctors
here that says that is your higher power the sun, moon, water, and earth?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. I would have never thought to ask that question.
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
You want to elaborate? The sun, the moon. What's on the moon? What is it? The moon has attracting power?
Here's what it is. It's a creation by God. It's a creation by the Creator.
Okay.
Okay? Man didn't create God.
Okay.
This is the problem that a lot of people don't understand. Man didn't create God.
Man created Jesus. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. And not only did they create Jesus, they created everything else. Okay? If man did the things that they were supposed to be doing, then we wouldn't have slavery. We should have lynching and stuff like that. And then we also wouldn't have what's going on now where people are swinging on the Bible in church and whatnot like that. Cops, politicians, and they're killing people, killing black people. So we know what's going on. So here's what I'm saying. It comes a point where we have to wake up and understand, that it's not always about the Bible. It's not. I don't give a damn about the Bible. I really don't. I don't give a damn because you know what? The Bible is not doing anything but sustaining what's going on. Okay? You got Trump in office. Trump is
so you believe that there is no truth in the Bible? There's got to be truth.
No, I don't. There's no way. Because you know what? The Bible has been so miscrewed. Why would you even think about looking into it?
What about the Quran?
I don't believe in no religion. No religion. Because they got their demons too.
Okay.
Bro, they got their demons too in the Quran.
Right. You can't, like,
they got their demons too.
Madeline Brain said you can't live without the elements. You can't live without the water. You can't live without the sun.
My whole thing is concentrate on finding God within, like we talked about when we first started, and that's what I believe in. Right. If you have a good heart and you're doing the right thing and you're treating people the right way, then that's God.
But I also read a book when I was in Canada. It was a book called Why Bad Things Happen to Good People.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And people blame God for that. And in the book it actually said that God had nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with what's happening to people, like people dying and things of that nature. Said God has nothing to do with that. It's just God set this in play, this earth and everything in motion, and gave you free will, and you do what you do.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and I don't know if you're closing it out or you're going to keep it rolling.
No, we're going to roll until the wheel fall off on this.
But here's what I tell people. Think about this. God brought you here. God brought you here. Okay? The only reason why you on this earth is because God brought you here. You got the land, you got the trees, you got the sun, you got the light, you got all of that. God brought you here. If you ever question God, then you're not religious. You're not religious. You don't understand God. Because here's what I'm going to say. He brought you here. He's going to take you out. And when he takes you out, he's taking you out to a better place. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. They're so busy worrying about, what's going to happen with me, and it's all in the church. It's all, what's going to happen to me and this and that and the other.
What do you mean what's going to happen to you?
Because one of the things that I could say, the Pope came to New York.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a bulletproof truck, bulletproof car.
Right. I remember that.
Okay, you believe in God. You in a bulletproof car? You the Pope? How's that happen? Natural people, you drive around in a car. Yes, car ain't bulletproof.
Well, you don't know his perspective. He might get a bunch of threats every day that say someone's gonna kill him.
Here's my thing. If you believe in God the way you say you believe in God, let it fly. Let it fly. Because myself personally, I think we're okay.
So you're a spiritual person.
Exact. I told you I'm spiritual. Right. You know that.
Okay. Yeah. I just want the people to know. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens. What you gonna do?
I've heard this argument before, where they say that you're a firm believer in God, and you know that if you die, you know where you're going. And
you don't know.
But no. What I'm saying is that I've heard people that are to the point where they know that they're saved, and that when they pass on, they know where they're going according to what the Bible tells them, right? But they might still be afraid to die or afraid to get killed, even though they know if they do die, where they're gonna go. I'm pretty sure that there's still a fear there, to get killed, so they take precautions.
But bro, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of shit.
Okay.
Excuse my language.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When the time comes,
it's time to go.
You know, I've been through so much in life, and I've seen so much in life. You know, I've buried friends. You know, so to me, you know, it is what it is. You know, but as long as you treat people good, and here's the main thing: find God within yourself. I had people tell me, Jay-Z talks about he's a god. Yeah, he is a god. He saved people in Africa. You know, they was walking miles to get something to drink.
So your definition of God, that is one that is able to provide or fill a need for a large population of people, or someone that has a really good heart and is giving, or what's your
my definition of God is somebody that is able to find God within themselves. Okay, that's my definition of God, and Jay-Z has done that. But I don't even like. I'm not even a Jay-Z fan.
I don't know that word.
I'm not even a Jay-Z fan. Okay, I'm not even Jay-Z. But I've seen some things that he's done, and he's winning me. He's winning me, and I'm like, wait a second. You have people in Africa that's walking miles to get something to drink, and this brother went over there, and he provided, you know, stuff for them to drink. Mm-hmm. You know. He has the money to be able to provide water and stuff like that for them to drink.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, so when he say he's a god, I don't got nothing to say, because you helping people that can't do it by themselves, and that's, to me, is what a god is. It's helping somebody that can't do it by themselves.
I got you.
Okay, mm-hmm. And he's done that. He's done it. I'm not a big Jay-Z fan. I'm not big on his rap and whatnot like that, but I appreciate who he is.
You know what? I just want to say this, right? That I went through a lot of phases of, you know, seeking God and, you know, trying to find something that I'm connected to in a way that, you know, it's hard to explain, but in this journey that I went through being in the nation of gods and earth, where I call myself God.
Right.
I went through studying lots of, as you could say, what is it? What do you call that? They say it's dealing with the devil, but it's not really dealing with the devil. It was just, damn, I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of what it's called.
It's all good.
Yeah, I learned. It'll come back to me. You know, my CRS just kicked in. Right. You know, I got CRS. You know that, right? Can't remember shit. Okay, so, yeah, I studied that. I studied, they called it occult. They said it was of the occult. Right. You know, like dealing with zodiac signs and, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Numbers, numerology, and then I also went to church. Of course, I was raised in the church.
Like me. Yep.
Right? So I went to church. Now, when I was in the nation of gods and earth, you know, I was kind of, you couldn't tell me, you know, too much about Jesus, you know. I believed that he existed, but I didn't agree with everything that the Bible had to offer.
Right.
And, you know, when I was dealing with the occult, not the occult, but I forgot what the science was. It was like, it was science. When I was dealing with that, it was more or less light, the light. It was all about the light, the blue light, green light, all these different shades of light. Right, that they're associated with God. And then when I went to the church, it was Jesus. All right, it was Jesus. And I can't lie to you, man. When I was worshiping Jesus, I felt the best. When I worshiped Jesus.
Okay.
I mean, like, inside I had joy and things of that nature. I was, people saw a difference in me.
Right.
They saw happiness.
Right.
So, it's hard, like, when you say that, like, for me to just disregard the experience that I had. And I can even go in deeper with people praying for me.
Right.
But praying is good.
Yeah.
Of course, right?
Right.
You think so?
I'm actually spiritual.
Right.
So I pray to my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I lost everybody. I'm a big fan of Malcolm X, which
Malcolm X, right?
Okay. So I pray to my ancestors, but as far as life is concerned, I think we good. I think y'all stressing too much. For real.
Right.
If you believe in God, then what are you worried about?
Right.
He brought you here.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take you out in a way that you're going to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one of the things that I never understood.
But God has a name, so
no,
and people categorize God.
God is the creator.
The creator. So
creator,
a Muslim calls
Messiah.
it Allah.
Right.
Allah.
Right.
The Christian call it Jehovah.
Talking about Allah and stuff like that, you're talking about religion. When you talk about the creator, God is the creator.
It allegedly has 99 attributes, right?
Somebody created all of this.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody did that. It may not even be a female. It may not be a male. It may be a female.
True.
That created all this.
Yeah, that was in the book.
You don't know.
What's the name of that book? The Shack.
Yeah, you don't know.
Right.
So God could be a female. It could be a male. So here's what I'm trying to tell people. Live your life. Find God within yourself. Treat people the way you want to, the way you're supposed to treat them.
Right.
Okay? And then you carry on from there. Okay? And you'll be okay. You don't have to go to church. You don't got to sit up in church and clap your hands and all of that. You don't got to do all of that. But find God. If you can't find God within yourself, you don't know God.
What are you reading, though? Like, what type of... Because I remember you told me, you said the people that argue with you about religion...
Right.
And are mostly the ones that have done the less amount of research.
Yes. There's a couple of books out.
You was talking about Jesus.
The Egyptian Book of the God.
All right, I'm familiar with that.
Egyptian books of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
There's other books out, and I've posted them. It slipped my mind right now.
I've read several books about God, about Jesus.
But here's the main thing that I have to say.
48 Laws of Matt.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of them too. Find God within yourself. If you can't find God within yourself, then you don't know God.
Okay.
You don't know God.
My brother Nate Sean Jackson is watching. I want somebody to call and ask Anthony a question. The number to call is 718-705-4959, or you could call 914-968-6499. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna put that number up here so people could call.
And don't be scared, because a lot of people are scared. Oh, well, I'm gonna die, and it's gonna happen to me when I die. Stop. He brought you here. He's gonna take you out. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Just you know, I'm nationally certified as a personal trainer.
Yeah. So what do you do? You while
so,
you're training
so
people,
I help
you teach
people
them about God
for free. I help people for free, and give them nutritional information. So they can take care of themselves.
Okay. So plug your Instagram right now or your Facebook page. If anybody want to call, contact you.
But I'll do it. But I've done it.
Okay.
And we haven't been in contact that much, but I have no problem with helping our people.
Right.
For free. For
right.
free.
Okay.
I can't talk about I'm pro-black, and I'm not helping our people.
All right.
For free. Because a lot of people that can't afford, You know that they can't afford,
So your thing was when we spoke, you had mentioned about Jesus,
right?
And the way they allegedly changed his skin complexion.
Yeah.
Hey, Cruz, put the picture up. So this is Jesus.
Right.
Here's a picture of Jesus Christ. What?
I can't look up there.
Why?
This is bro, that's hilarious. I can't. Anyway.
What's wrong with that?
You know what?
So you think that never happened there?
Nah, it never happened. You know
Is it an allegory? Is it what? Is it what kind of?
If you go back into Egypt, and you're friends with Eddie Taz Green, Eddie went to Egypt. Okay, so they know that Egyptians worship the sun. Okay, they worship the sun. The Son of God is actually the Son. It's not Jesus. The Son of God is the Son. Okay, if you go back and you look at the history, and you when you was younger, I'm sure you seen a Jesus picture up with the sun behind him.
Show that picture again, Cruz. I think the sun was behind him on this.
Exactly. You know, he never existed. There's always a sun. There's always a glare behind him. There's always something behind him. So what they tried to do was they tried to put in Pictet, Caesar Borgia, which is the guy that you was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Caesar Borgia, and tried to make it seem like he's actually the Son of God. The Son of God is actually the Son. Nothing on earth lives without the Son.
I got
you know that, right?
Yeah, I got
nothing on earth.
I hear that.
You can't eat without the Son. You can't eat without the Son.
Right, talking to the mic.
So nothing on earth lives without the Son.
Right. So you associate the sun.
The Son of God is actually the sun.
The sun that's shining.
It's not Jesus.
Okay. What's the? So, all right. Okay. I mean, all right. I get the significance of the sun being very, very important.
Nothing on
earth can survive without it. For sure. If the sun is gone, in fact, you're so right, because not only would nothing on the earth survive, everything rotates around the sun.
Right.
The sun has attracting power.
Right.
So everything rotates around the sun.
Right.
So if you remove the sun, things are going to go zigzag.
You remember
I know that.
You remember when you was younger, they used to have that phrase, "You're as strong as an ox."
Uh-huh.
Oxes don't eat meat.
Okay.
They eat from the earth.
Well, all right. They don't eat no meat.
You're as strong as an ox.
I'm
So
strong.
how can you be as strong as an ox? And oxes don't eat.
I'm stronger than an ox now.
But what I'm saying,
1,000 baboons. Shout out to 1,000
but that was a
baboons.
phrase that they used.
Right.
You're as strong as an ox.
Gotcha.
Because you're as strong as an ox.
Right.
Oxes don't eat meat.
But they're strong. I don't even know how strong an ox is, really. Is an ox really that strong?
Your main thing should be about and I hear a lot of people complaining about
Wait. My boy didn't call in, but he left a long message, and I'm going to read it. He's scared to call or something. God is a concept adapted by a belief system known as religion, he says. What happened here? Oh, man, what is going on? I lost it. Oh, all right. Here it is. God is pure energy that operates in the form of consciousness within the human body. Having a brain connected to the mind of God gives us access to the universe that he put together with supreme intelligence, so that man can become as God in the image and likeness of himself. The physical vessel molded with imperfection, expressing its true reality, which is supreme intelligence. This is why it's mentioned that man means mind. Why? Because that universal energy is truly expressed throughout the...
Right. I got all that.
So, I get what Prince is saying. I get what you're saying. But there's so many believers out there.
But that's a big problem, because
it's a problem.
It's a big problem because when you start believing,
right,
and you start subtracting what you're supposed to be doing health-wise, okay, or what you're supposed to be doing mentally-wise, what you're supposed to be doing as far as supporting other people and being there for them, and being humble, okay? When you start saying, because I'm sure you heard this, I don't need you, I got Jesus.
Right.
I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah.
I don't need you, I got Jesus. You know, so when people start doing that, they're actually taken away from who they are. And I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I don't have to take care of myself. I'm sick and this and that and the other, but Jesus got me." No, take your ass to the doctor. Take your ass to the doctor. Take care of yourself. Do some research on what's going to make you better. And this is why I have a problem. After losing most of my family, this is why I have a problem with this, because a lot of people, they think for some reason you could sit down and you could say, I don't need this and this and that and the other, and stop. Right. And then you got people in church,
church folks.
Obesity is supposed to be a sin. Okay.
You gonna get in trouble now, boy.
I'm getting ready to go in. Obesity is supposed to be a sin. So why you got so many unfit women watching their asses back, excuse my language, back and forth in church? Okay, not taking care of yourself. you know. So and then you worried about your health, and you worried about your diabetes, and you worried about all this other stuff that's going on with you.
Gotcha.
You know, all that's in the Bible. That's why I don't rock with the Bible, because it doesn't give you anything that's going to support your well-being. You know, it doesn't. You know, at a certain age, you shouldn't need instructions all your life from one book to tell you what you need to do.
Well, I remember someone gave me a definition of what Bible means. As they said, it was an acronym. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what they call
Facts.
it.
Facts.
Facts.
But here's another one. What I can tell you. Don't build your life on that. Build your life on being a God. And this is why I say look into being a God. And this is why I say look into your African culture. Because once you look into your African culture, then you become, Dice, if something happened to you and you know you're a God, you be like, okay, let's go.
Almost more than half of Africa is Christian now. Do you know that?
Yeah, I seen that. I don't like that.
Right? You don't like that?
Nah.
I'm gonna tell you this, Anthony.
There's too much going on over there right now.
I'm gonna tell you this, that there was things that I questioned about the Bible. I had a lot of questions about the Bible. You know, I had a question about the pregnancy.
Right.
How Jesus was born. I questioned that.
Right.
I questioned Christmas. Right. You know, if Jesus was
woman
born on that day.
A woman coming from a man's rib.
Yeah, or if Jesus was born on Christmas Day, I questioned that.
He wasn't
I
born on
questioned
Christmas.
Easter. I've questioned.
Yeah.
You know, when I went into the Bible looking for contradictions, but I'm gonna say this: when I went in the Bible looking for contradictions, because that's what I was searching at the time.
Right.
I was searching for that, and I had these questions that people couldn't really answer for me.
No,
they couldn't really answer.
I did the same thing.
And
you sound like me.
The funniest thing is the story is funny though. That I would go to these pastors.
Nobody can answer.
I had a tutorial from 5 different pastors while I was in one correctional facility.
Yep.
And nobody can answer my questions. However, I remember the time when everything changed, right? The first time, because it happened more than once, these experiences that I've had with the Bible. And the very first time was when someone introduced me to the Bible.
Right.
He was a homie, he was a blood, and he was like introducing it to me as if it was a hood novel. He was like, yo, you ain't read that shit about Daniel in the lion's den? I'm telling you, read that shit. He was in the lion's den chilling like this. The lions was just hanging around. And I'm like, what?
Right.
And he was like, yo, you didn't read that story about Jonah in the whale's mouth? That nigga Jonah was on the boat.
He talking shit.
And that nigga Jonah was on the boat, and he did this and this, and they threw it out, and then the whale came and snapped. Listen, he made me go read these stories.
Right.
By telling it to me like that, and I went and read the story. And then I read the whole book of Matthew. Listen to this. I read the whole book of Matthew, and when Jesus died, I started crying. Aww. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like all of this. When Jesus died in the book,
right,
I started crying, and it wasn't intentional.
Right.
I just got into it, and then he died, and then I was like, and I was in the cell, but I was like,
right.
And that's when something changed, something like click. That was the first time,
bro. You know I'm getting ready to go.
Go ahead, man. As it is what it is. I'm just letting you know this will happen. Like everybody has an experience, and some people have supernatural experiences, and.
The main thing that I can tell people is find God within yourself.
Right.
Treat people with respect and love.
But doing what I did, do you not think it's possible to accidentally expose yourself to God, whether it's within or without, by associating yourself with the Bible?
With that being said, like I said, find God within yourself. That's number one.
Find God within yourself. Definitely.
Because if you can't find God within yourself, you don't know God.
Right. You ain't looking.
Okay. If
you
you're not trying to help
no
nobody,
need to look outside.
If you're not trying to support nobody, if you're not trying to be a God within yourself,
dope.
If you're not trying to build yourself up, if you're not trying to take care of yourself, eat right, do whatever you have to do to build yourself and help people and stuff like that, you're a God.
Right.
You know that. You're a God. In Africa, we had walking gods.
For sure.
Okay? So if you don't know God within yourself, then you don't know God. That's my whole thing.
Copy.
The other thing that you're saying is, I don't think his name was God. That was made up. I don't think his name was God. It's made by man. If it's made by man, you can't say that his name is a God. You can be a God because you're African or you're African American, right?
Mm-hmm.
And African, if you Google it, encyclopedia,
right?
We had Africans that was gods.
Okay.
So you know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you, brother.
That's what you know so far. But as far as trying to depict what God is and what God is this and that and the other, I think people need to stop. I think you need to sit down and concentrate on just treating people well. Being respectful.
That's very important.
Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself health-wise. Okay? God gave you everything on earth to take care of yourself. Okay? There's nothing on earth. God gave you everything on earth. You're not supposed to be eating animals. That's the other thing.
No animals.
You know, I'm a vegetarian.
Ooh, no animals.
And I'm a personal trainer, nationally certified
No
by
meat.
doctors. That's what we eating at. Anyway, that stuff kills you, okay? Because they inject the meat and stuff like that, and that's what's killing people. Okay, so find God within yourself. People get mad. They're like, oh, well, vegetarians and this and that and the other, and they think they better than us. No, they don't think they're better. They're just eating better. You know, they're just eating better. You just take care of yourself.
Copy.
You know, so.
And it's funny that, you know, I would say if God was meant, if that name was made up.
Right. It's not made up. It's African.
Oh, God.
God is
Gumar Oz the Bar. That's what I was taught. It means like wisdom, strength, and beauty.
African. God is actually from Africa.
Okay.
All right. They told us to point to the sky, and that's your God. In Africa, we have walking gods.
Right.
If you don't believe me,
no, I believe you.
Goddess and gods.
I believe you.
Are from Africa.
They had gods in Greece, and the Greek gods too.
Exactly. You know, so you have to decipher
what you believe in.
What you believe in. And I told you the newest thing that I can tell you is Jay-Z. He said, I'm a god. And people get mad at him.
Comedic science, that was the other one.
People get mad at him. He's like, Jay-Z, no, you're not no god.
Well, they said in the Bible, I think that was in...
And I'm not even Jay-Z fan.
That was in Psalms.
He's like, I'm a god. I'm like, wait a second. You're building, like, water for people to drink water?
Oh, he's building the pipeline.
The
pipeline.
He's doing some shit.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, you are a god. If you're helping people, you're a god. Okay? Will Smith's son. Mm-hmm. He's helping the people in, with the water.
Well, what about the people like Hare Krishna and Yahweh Ben Yahweh and well, these are prophets,
right?
Like not them. I'm not saying Hare Krishna is a prophet, but when I think of like Gandhi,
right?
You know, Muhammad.
Anybody that's helping somebody is a god.
Even Jesus.
Anybody.
You know, man, Jesus stops here or here. I got you. I'm going to stop.
You can't throw that out.
But you know something, man? I'm going to tell you, bro, that in you know, religion that is.
Right.
Right. Depending on where you were raised, who you were raised by.
Right.
Pretty much. Like, if you were raised in somewhere in the Middle East,
right,
you may very well be Muslim.
Right. I agree.
You know?
I agree.
And so happens that you're a believer.
Right.
Right. You're a believer now, right? What do you call yourself?
I'm actually in the middle because I lost so many family members.
Is that really affects you, bro? That affected you.
It affected me to the point where I throw my hands up and say, let it happen, whatever happens. But you know what? I've seen family members on their knees and praying.
Damn, man, we got 1 minute left.
Hurt. Yeah. I've seen family members hurt, and they wind up passing away. You know, so. Yeah,
you know what? To all my viewers right now, I just got one special request. I want y'all, this is my bro right here. I want y'all to lift him up in prayer. All right? If you can do that for me. Whoever you believe in, whoever you pray to, I want you to add.
Better not be Jesus.
I want you to add Anthony Fauntleroy. I want you to add Anthony Fauntleroy in your prayers. Please lift him up. Please ask that, you know.
You believe in Jesus?
That he
bro.
That it is revealed to him.
Bro, you believe in Jesus?
Hey, I'm a believer. Yeah, I'm a believer.
You put me on this show?
No. Your views are your views. It doesn't matter if I believe or I don't believe.
That
If I
motherfucker
agree,
never
but
existed.
I'm never gonna go at
Did you look up that council in Nikia?
Yeah, the council of care. They said they was deciding on what to name him.
Yeah, huh?
Right, but that was written also. Is it true?
Right.
Is it substantiated by fact? You know, and that's the thing that we, everything must be substantiated by fact. And when Jesus to me wasn't substantiated by fact, but is what you believe.
I believe in God.
Believe in God.
Anybody that
we got to get ready to go, man. But real quick, just plug your Facebook page, because I just want people to reach out to you if you want them to.
Plug in where?
No, just say it. Say your Facebook page, if you would like to.
Faunt, Faunt, FAM is in Mary.
Right. Because he's always
at gmail.com.
Right.
That's my Facebook page.
All right. He's always putting something positive on his page. Like, I get messages.
No, I go hard.
He definitely goes hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. And I hope that my request is answered. And thank you, Cruz, for showing up today. Thank you, Anthony, for coming, man. I wish you a safe trip.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, bro, and love you to death, man. I thank you for attending. Don't forget, cop my book. You Can't Be Serious. I ain't get to show it today. Yeah, I wrote a book. I definitely wrote a book.
Yeah, let me know about that.
I definitely will. Signed copy for you. Anyway, we gotta go. I'm out. Just remember, it's easier to stay out of trouble than it is to get out of trouble. God is good all the time. No, God is not good. Chicken is good. God is awesome. See you later.
Kings and queens.